Preacher never took 2 pennies from me. Now, Antoine, like I said, I'm here telling you that I'm telling and all, so there's no reason for me to hold back anything from you. The Preacher never took 1 penny from
Produced
Alpo.
by Contrast Productions.
Never, ever. He would have took 2 bullets before he took any kind of money from me. Preacher, now, his situation with Rich was different. Preacher took care of some murders for Rich. No, Preacher, I was real cool with the guy that Preacher killed named Terry. That was his partner.
Okay.
I was messing with his goddaughter named Vanessa, this girl named Vanessa, and they never came at me for any kind of extortion. One time, Preacher came and asked me for like a half a key of coke, and I never even got it to him because I was so much in and out of town, I wasn't even thinking about him. No. My little man, my man that I told you earlier that was the stick-up kid with me and all that, he had Preacher. He knew Preacher. He was going to kill Preacher. Preacher never took a penny from me. Even now in my position, some people came to see me about Preacher, and they was asking me like, yo, the Preacher, so I could have benefited from there if I wanted to and just said yeah, but no, Preacher never took any kind of money from me. He always thought AZ was a punk. He always used to call AZ a punk. He knew what I was about. He knew what I was about, so he didn't even come at me like that. And as far as Rich, him and Rich had an understanding because of Apple being Richard's nephew, and Richard paid him like $10,000 before he came home or something to kill this kid Sean Moe. They killed him coming out of 145th Street Garage in St. Nick.
Okay.
So him and Rich had that situation, and then he was right around the corner in 148th Street. But I don't ever remember Rich even giving him any money. So, and see the thing with the Preacher, Antoine, I don't care if you was talking to him. If somebody rode by you and seen you talking to Preacher, they automatically said he was getting money from you.
Right.
That's how that was. That's how his rep was. It was so strong like that as far as extortion. But if anybody that really knows me, they know I'm not paying nobody nothing. Right. It's easier for me to tell him to meet me and pick up the money and just put 2 in his head. Come on. That was the case. I could have brought my man Wayne from D.C. If I didn't even want to, I could have brought him from D.C. They don't know Wayne. Wayne would have walked right up on him, hit him 3 times, and then piss on him. They ain't care nothing about no damn Preacher. He respected me the same way I respected him.
YouTube, what's going on? Thanks for tuning into the video. Get the likes up from the jump. Now let's get right into it. Now, you know the saying, there's 2 sides to every story. Well, I call it bullshit. I say there's 3 sides to every story. You got one side, you got the other side, and then you have the truth. See, tonight, we're going to talk about a few things. And I posted the audio on this topic at the beginning because I wanted to make a few points. The first thing I want to talk about is how Alpo stated that he don't even remember Rich giving Preacher any money. Most might go with it because this came from the horse's mouth. But in reality, this is his point of view. I was the first to come out and say Rich was paying Preacher. People immediately started attacking, calling it BS. Years later, credible sources released the news in interviews and documentaries. The streets knew, AZ knew, Alpo wasn't sure. He just made that statement based on his point of view. Plus, he's speaking on events that happened over 30 years ago. So even if it's from the horse's mouth, don't expect everything to be accurate. And another thing I believe is that Alpo gave Preacher a little something. He gave a little something to Preacher. Alpo said he didn't. A couple months ago, Randy Love came out and stated that Alpo never paid Preacher. See, Randy Love made that statement from his point of view. Randy Love was serving time most of Alpo's run. So ask yourself this question: was Alpo even Alpo when Randy Love was around? Of course, Randy Love is not going to make his little protege look bad because he's supposed to be protecting him on the street. So, hey, if he looks bad, it makes me look bad. See, I always say this. History is history. It's all about predictions and putting things together. Sort of like what I do on this channel. If the average viewer pick up a book instead of relying on interviews and videos, you could sort of put all the puzzles together, put all the pieces together. I can name 5 hustlers from the paid-in-full era that have a book that you could purchase. You can go on Amazon, you can go all over to purchase these books, and then you could read and take something from each book and put all of it together. But a lot of people, they want to be lazy. They want to go from he said, she said shit videos, and then make comments like they know what they're talking about without any research. They hear something from one person and then they go with it. See, another thing about the horse's mouth is that the horse can lie. Yes, how many times we call Alpo when to lie? And why wouldn't the horse make himself look good? We saw it with Nate Boone Craft. We see it all the time. Frank Lucas, he fabricated his whole story right in front of our faces. People forget that these guys were criminals at one point in their life, but y'all still expect a criminal to be honest on a podcast or an interview. That's crazy work. They look at young guys like me and automatically disqualify my thoughts because I wasn't there. I'm not saying I'm always 100% accurate, but the research I come up with make most sense. Alpo could literally do an interview and say some shit that just doesn't make sense, and y'all eat it up because he was there. That's the horse. Yes, Alpo, he was about that life. And I heard all the stories about the oo-wops with the shoulder straps. But Alpo wasn't dumb enough to do something to Preacher. Y'all watch too many movies thinking that Alpo killing Preacher will just end there. We're talking about a guy with a cult following of grown men that would do anything for Preacher. I mean anything. If something happens to Preacher, you had guys that will literally hunt you down. We're talking about a guy that had grown men calling him dad. Alpo had hitters, don't get me wrong. He had hitters, he had shooters, but he ain't have it like Preacher. See, Alpo, he was only good as his last dollar given. Now, don't let that go over your head, so I'm gonna repeat it one more time. Alpo was only good as his last dollar given. If he runs out of money, he's nothing. Now, Preacher, he had these guys' mind that his men will still serve him without a dime in his pocket. Now, and I come here every week and I share my thoughts, of course. And I always tell you, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Pick up a book for once. Reach out to the OGs. They have Instagrams, they have all types of stuff. You have people out here calling Alpo a genius. Yes, he was smart, don't get me wrong. But does it really take a rocket science to set up and backdoor your own friends? We have rotten people doing that in the hood every day. Does that mean they're playing chess? Are they geniuses? Hell no. I have no choice but to be patient because I just know what comes with this genre. I know the type of people I'm dealing with. I'ma get emotion over logic in the comments every time. If I say something I don't agree about Rich Porter, I'm a Rich Porter hater. If I say something that I don't agree about Alpo, I'm an Alpo hater. It's just like, I just can't win. Now, another thing, I feel like Alpo shouldn't have let those DC dudes persuade him to get rid of Rich. He should have kept those dudes out of New York business. When he was shot, they didn't let anything happen to Jawbreaker. They protected their own. They wasn't going to let an out-of-towner touch one of their own. Alpo had to eat those bullets. He should have had the same energy with them, but it was too late. Now, let's talk about picks. I see a lot of people in the comments saying that Preacher had picks. Well, of course, so did Wayne Perry. He knew who to go at and who not to. Alpo had picks. All these men had picks. Having picks is the smartest thing you can do. Why put yourself in a situation that you could possibly lose or bring you a headache? Now, Wayne did have a list of people to get rid of that Alpo gave him. And there was a couple of names that were skipped over. Let's talk about it. All these dudes knew who to go at. Why would the bully pick on someone that's gonna fight back or give them any type of resistance? I'm just saying, that's just my thing. Now, we all say Alpo was a businessman. I heard him call himself that a couple times. And I hear that, you're a businessman, get your money. But where was this businessman when Preacher went at half a key? And I ain't trying to hear that out-of-town BS. You sell bricks for living, you sell keys for living. That's what you do. Now, he was scared of Preacher. But it's looking like he was scared that Preacher was gonna keep it. And it would have definitely been a front. And that might have been one of the reasons why Alpo was trying to stay away from him. He wasn't gonna give nothing up for free. Preacher wasn't paying up front, man. He wanted that shit on consignment. But anyway, man, I just wanted to have fun with this, man. I wasn't doing nothing. I wanted just to take a little break. Break some points down. Don't forget, y'all, hit the comments, get involved. Don't be a stranger, hit the like button, subscribe, turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on the content. Check out my playlist, join the Patreon if y'all want longer videos and exclusive videos. Hit members22.com and secure your fragrances. Y'all take it easy out there. Thanks for watching. I'm out.